Hey everybody, I'm back with another video and I'm going to show you how to plan your week with nothing but a blank page. So I was thinking about how I could incorporate planning my entire week without using multiple tools or doing something on a weekly pad and then transferring it to my planner, which I generally use. And for those who don't have these tools or are not interested in purchasing them, I was thinking just a random book like you have lying around in the house. I have this old B6 notebook that I've not been using since a while. Can be helpful to plan your week and you can have everything in one place. So for this video, I'm going to plan my tasks for the upcoming week and I'm going to also plan my meals that I usually make during the week. And I'll put in a few other things, some side quests like I discussed in my previous video, and just have like one view for my entire week on one sheet. Once that's laid out, I'm going to move that onto a digital setup in my structured app because that's something that I use and I really enjoy. And if you don't want to do that, you can either set reminders or completely skip that step. So let's get started. This is my little journaling kit. It's a calligraphy box which my sister gifted me for one of my birthdays, and I never used that set, but the box is so beautiful. It's like a nice metal tin box and I absolutely loved it. It has quite a bit of depth, so a lot of things fit into it. And recently, a few months ago, I decided that I could make it my travel journal kit. And what I have here are some stickers, a couple of pens that I generally use. This is just another box metal tin with like all the stickers that I have. And this is this loose sticker box. And I have an old Marks and Spencer's mint tin, which is such a beautiful make that I didn't want to throw it. So I kind of used it to have all the cutouts that I print and keep. So there's a lot, as you can see. I've kind of collected them for quite a few months now. And whenever I want to stick something, I just go through this. And this is just like a miscellaneous box. It has a few post-its, an eraser, sticker, a clip to hold down things when I'm planning. And this box has been so helpful when I'm traveling or just around the house journaling. And that's my style of journaling. I don't really do it on my table. I just like to sometimes do it in bed when I'm watching a show on the couch. So there's a lot of movement and I need something that I can just grab and go rather than take like 1,000 things like I used to before. So that's just a quick setup. So I'm going to split this in half because I want the top to be tasks and the bottom half I'm going to be using for meal planning. And that's why I've created or left this space, because what I'm going to do is write breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's it. The grid is done. If you're feeling extra fancy like me, I'm going to go in with this pen and just highlight the cells a bit. And there we are. It did bleed a little because I didn't let the ink completely dry, but that's fine. I'm sorry if my voice is sounding a bit nasally. I don't know why. I almost always have a cold, and when I'm filming, it's like my nose knows. It's like my nose knows it before I do, and yeah, I inevitably get a cold. So sorry for that. Okay, let's begin. I'm going to start with my tasks, and I'm going to be doodling a bit because that's how I like to plan my week. Again, it brings me joy. So do what works for you. And the way I'm going to do it is, in my previous video, I spoke about listing all the things, getting them down on a paper, and then transferring them to the week view. So I'm just going to move to the step 2 since I already have a fair bit of idea of what I want to get done. I'm just going to go to step 2 and begin mapping that out in my week. So for Monday, I'm just going to put a dumbbell. So this means strength train. Thursday, I'm going to keep it off. and then another for Friday. And then I'm going to include walks. I'm going to start from Monday itself. Skip Tuesday. By the way, this doesn't mean that I'm not going to walk on Tuesday. I mean, it's not such a hard and fast rule. Just because I put it down or don't put it down doesn't mean I'm going to or not going to do it. It just helps me kind of map out my week and also be intentional about what I want accomplished during the week. I don't know about a lot of people out there, but for me, when there's a lot of things in my mind, if I'm planning something and I don't really put it down on paper, I'm very restless. I feel that I'm going to forget about something, and when the time comes, usually at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I needed to get that done, but I didn't really, you know, I didn't really note it down, or I didn't really time block it, and I happened to forget about it altogether. So that's why I kind of created the system so I don't feel that way. I'm much more at ease knowing that everything's put down somewhere, and um, mostly it helps me stay intentional with how I want to spend the upcoming week. And then on the weekend too. Okay, so that's walk 5 times a week and strength train 4 times. Last Friday, I went and worked from a coffee shop, and I really enjoyed that. Um, it was such a simple activity just for a couple of hours, but it brought me so much joy. I had a nice cup of coffee, and I want to do that again. I want to do that on a Friday or even a Thursday. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna put this as any day is fine, or even if I want 2 days is fine. But towards the end of the week, I think that's a nice pick me up before the weekend. I'm reading a book. It's fiction and kind of smutty. A Kingdom of Fire and Flesh, I think. So I'm just gonna do that and write Kingdom of Fire and Flesh. I want to do some work on my laptop. Laundry here, clothes peg, and then just to be cheeky, I'm gonna draw a bra. Hi, the simple joys in life, I tell you. What else? What else? What else? I think that's about it for the weekend. I don't really have anything planned as such, so I'm just gonna leave this here right now, and if something comes when I'm meal prepping, I'll go back to it. So that's the beauty of the system. It's not set in stone. If something comes up and you don't remember it immediately, you can always come back and add to it. So I'm going to stop here for my weekly tasks and then come back to it later when I start meal prepping to see where does that fit in, what I want to do, and all of that. So for breakfast, I'm going to keep it very simple. I want to have eggs and toast. And what I'm going to do is, just to make it easier, I'm going to have it Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to have a bowl of oats. And then do that Wednesday, Thursday. And Friday, I could either freestyle, or I'm just going to put an egg, toast, chia, seed pudding. I'm not going to plan for the weekends because we usually wake up late and we may want to go out for breakfast or do something else. So I generally keep my weekend meals open with breakfast sorted for lunch. So since I'm going to be having bread for breakfast Monday and Tuesday and oats on Wednesday, I'm going to have uh, a sandwich, a sandwich for lunch on Wednesday, and it's going to be a chicken breast and tzatziki sandwich. For Monday lunch, um, I want to make khichdi. So what we usually do is we have lunch, like we prepare lunch for one day, and then we have that as leftovers for another day. So essentially, I make enough for 2 days, and that's only for lunch. So if I have to prep something on a Monday afternoon, then my Tuesday lunch is set. And I'm going to have this with a veggie, rich gold. And both of this will be had for Tuesday's lunch. So essentially we are done with most of Monday and Tuesday. And for dinner, I'm going to keep it simple and go with a bowl of salad. Salad and chicken thighs. So I'm just going to do a drumstick. Does it look like a chicken thigh? It doesn't look anything like a chicken thigh. I know it's a chicken thigh. This is salad plus chicken for Tuesday dinner as well. So that's done. For Wednesday, I'm done with my breakfast and lunch. So for dinner, I'm thinking I could do some roast potatoes, just for a change from the salad. So these are the potatoes. And then, since we want to have protein with every meal, I'm going to do a chicken. This could easily turn into a mash. So I'll decide on Wednesday, depending on what I need or what I feel like having. And this is pan fried chicken with black-eyed pea curry and rice. If you've not guessed it, this will be Friday's leftovers. So Friday lunch is sorted. And then we have Thursday dinner to look at. I'm not going to plan Friday's dinner because, it's the start of the weekend. Either we would have some leftovers from the week that carried to the next day, and we want to finish that instead of wasting it, or make something like entirely new. Sometimes I like to cook like a rich pasta, or my husband gets the munchies and he'd like to order something. So Friday is just going to be freestyle. I'm going to do a smiling emoji because do what makes you happy. So for Thursday night, we will have chicken. And along with the chicken, I think we could have another salad. So that's what my week is going to look like in terms of the chores I have to do, some side quests like going to the coffee shop, reading a book, working, working on my personal things, strength training 4 times a week, and then going on a night walk 5 times a week. I could also slot in a movie because it's Friday night. So watch something nice. And this is the type of planning you can do. You don't have to plan everything, but it just gives you something to look forward to, honestly. If I see this in my schedule, I'm going to be so happy. And just have something like when it's a Wednesday, knowing that we're going to watch a movie on Friday, or we're going to have like a nice time, I'm going to go to a coffee shop. It brightens up my day. So it's a nice thing to do for yourself, just to make your week look a bit more brighter, happier, and just break the monotony a bit. We'll do a movie, and I'm going to do this popcorn. So we'll have popcorn and watch a movie. If you've seen my previous video, what I'm going to do is now translate this onto a digital app, and for me that's using Structured. I like the interface, and it's very easy to plan and make tasks like repeatable, and I usually use the subtask feature to have a lot of things. Like when I'm cooking, if I have to prep for multiple things, then I generally put all of that on the app, and it's working very well for me. If that's not your cup of tea, you can move on to Google Calendar or whatever works for you, or just leave it in this format. Anything that makes your life a bit easier. And that's about it. If you don't plan to use any digital application, you don't want to buy a fancy planner, you don't want to buy a meal planner, you don't want to have a day planner, you just have a book and you want to plan out your week, this is a super easy way to get it done. I could tear out this page and keep it next to my laptop on my desk, clip it to the whiteboard so I see it every day, and it's going to be really helpful whether or not you translate it into a digital system. Either way works very well. And then what I usually do, once I know what I have to buy for groceries, I look at how do I prep it. So if lunch has to be ready on a Monday afternoon, Mondays are quite busy for me, it needs to be prepped either Sunday night or early Monday morning. So since this block is free, I'm just going to use this. On Sunday, I'm going to write khichdi and ridge gourd. So I remember to make this, and this is something I'm going to keep as a reminder on Structured so I don't forget. And salad and chicken I'm going to prep on Monday itself. I'll probably get everything by Sunday, marinate it, keep it in the fridge, and Monday evening I'll start preparing chopping up the veggies and getting the chicken ready. Since I'm having leftovers on Tuesday, I don't really have to prep again for khichdi and to make the rich gourd. It's going to be carried over, which means Tuesday's prep work is done. On Monday, I really have to only get dinner sorted. So for Monday, I'm just going to put salad and chicken. And breakfast is something I just manage in the morning, so really no prep work. Looking at Wednesday, I need to make a quick lunch with chicken breast and tzatziki. So chicken breast will already be marinated, and tzatziki is super quick to whip, but I need Greek yogurt for this. So on Tuesday, I need to make Greek yogurt because it needs to strain overnight. And I could also uh, do the cucumber then, or the next day I'm just going to put cucumbers, because for tzatziki you have to drain the cucumber. So either I could make the dip Tuesday itself, or I'm just going to add that as a reminder. I also have to get Tuesday salad ready, salad and chicken, which is basically a repeat of what is already planned, but it helps to note it down anyway. And then for Wednesday, I know I want to have the chicken breast and tzatziki sandwich. I've already prepped for all the ingredients. I'll just pop this in the air fryer, have the tzatziki ready, make the sandwich, and for dinner I need to do the potatoes and chicken. So this is kind of something I'll prep at the night. I don't really need advanced preparation for it. And even next day's lunch is a curry, which I probably need to make it in advance. So on Wednesday, I'll be soaking the black-eyed peas, and then I'll make the mash or roast, and I'll make the chicken for that night's dinner. So when Thursday rolls out, it's just pan-fried chicken, which takes less than 15 minutes to get ready. So this is something I can handle at lunchtime, and I would have already soaked the black-eyed peas. So which means Thursday, I'm just going to put morning. I need to make the black-eyed pea curry and rice. So by writing morning here, when I'm going to plan my week, I'm going to keep that in mind, and I'm going to keep a reminder for me before I start my workday to get this sorted. And when lunch time rolls out, I have just chicken to make. My curry and rice is ready, and I can get that done very easily. And for dinner, I also need to prep salad and chicken. For Friday morning breakfast, I've said that I want to have chia seed pudding, so even that goes here. Just with a little bit of planning, I'm able to have my entire week's view, and this really helps a lot. I've been doing this for the past 2 weeks, and I can't tell you how helpful it's been just to list down the things I have to do for the next day and making sure that it's ready. So when Sunday night comes, or Tuesday night or Wednesday night, I don't have to think what needs to be done. Look at this sheet, look at something else. If I'm maybe working or on a walk, I don't have to really think about what I'm forgetting. Everything's already planned, and I just look at this list. And this is something like I mentioned, I add to structured. And when Tuesday rolls out, I get a reminder. I kind of slot this in probably around 7 o'clock. I get a reminder, I look at all the tasks, and everything's ready for that day and the next day if needed. And that's it. It's a very simple and easy way to plan your week. I hope you got some value out of that if you've stuck for this part of the video. And I'd like to hear your thoughts. What type of content would you like more of? Does this really help you plan your week? Let me know down in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.